earthquakes have been hitting the Southland recently, making us wonder whether we are ready for the big one. And with us to give us information about what we need to do is Chris Ibsen, who is with the City of Los Angeles Emergency Management Department. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having us. Appreciate you.
Let's begin by talking about what we need to do to get our homes ready.
As far as the home, we recommend, we've seen that most people get hurt with non-structural things, bookshelves, mirrors not properly hung. If you saw images of the recent earthquake we had, one of the ones that kept in my mind is the one in the library where all of the books collapsed and it was sheer mess. So securing your shelves, your mirrors to the studs, you know, so it's secure and safe. So that's one of the biggest things for us. Do you have an escape route in case you're asked to evacuate quickly, and where is your meeting place? Obviously, communication is going to be essential. How do we communicate with our family? We've seen cellular phones in big emergencies. There's no availability of service, so we recommend a texting group, or even Facebook, Instagram if you have that. So social media is really a way to leverage your communication capabilities, as it's shown to be very resilient. As far as basic first aid supplies, have a good first aid kit in hand in case somebody does get hurt. And if you are able to take first aid CPR training, we recommend that you do that, offered by organizations like the American Red Cross. Your Go Kit. You may get authorities knocking on your door and saying you need to leave and you need to leave now. Do you have that Go Kit with the essential supplies, some basic food, some water, clothing, sturdy shoes, those kind of things? You could be in bed and the earthquake hits. People say, well, what do I do? Do I run out of bed? No, you're supposed to huddle up and put a pillow over yourself. And if you've done that non-structural mitigation that I talked about, you shouldn't have any heavy items that aren't secured above your bed. But in case, you would cover up with a pillow, and then once the shaking stops, if you want to get off your bed, have those sturdy shoes ready to go so you can go ahead and do a size up of your home. Is anybody hurt? So those are the basics.
How much food, how much water? For how many days?
Yeah, obviously depending on the size of the family, but for each individual we like at least 3 to 4 gallons per person. So you're looking at, if you have a household of 4 or 5, maybe 20 gallons of water. Rotate it. We know that there is water you can purchase that has a 5 to, we've seen some of them that have 50-year shelf life. So obviously if you have that, you don't have to rotate it as much, but regular consumer water is about every 6 months. And obviously with water, that's going to be your most critical supply, because they say that you can live with just water for at least 4 to 5 days, depending on your health condition. And food, you need to have 3 to 10 days is what we recommend. Obviously, food that's not perishable, you know, like pastas, canned goods, and obviously make sure that you have stuff for your children. That they will like it. Some people have stored food. We've heard my kids won't eat it. They're stuck in a earthquake scenario. They don't have access to a lot of food, but they wouldn't eat it. So make sure it's stuff that your kids do like.
Tell us about your office. I know you do an awful lot to help the people of Los Angeles. So tell us what you do.
Yeah, so we're a full-time emergency management office. One of our big programs right now is Rylan, Ready Your LA Neighborhood. And that's actually something you can look up on a search engine, and it'll pop up as Rylan. And so we have always recommended preparedness at the individual household for the individual. What we found to be more effective is at the neighborhood level, anywhere between 40 to 50 homes. You may be a nurse, I may be a contractor, you may be having a person that's an architect that has structural knowledge that can do search and rescue operations. And what Rylan does is it puts an emergency component, a team component, to your neighborhood. So you'll have a incident commander, so to speak, somebody that's in charge. You have folks that are in charge of search and rescue, so they have roles and responsibilities.
A lot of us don't always know how to react in a situation. We mentioned at home, you get under some table or whatever when the quake is happening. But what about if you are on a freeway overpass? You're on the freeway. It's rush hour in Los Angeles. For me, that's one of the most terrifying thoughts, being stuck in a quake at that time. What do you do?
Well, first of all, keep in mind panic is the last thing you want to do. So For peace of mind, know that here in Southern California we have some of the finest building codes in the world. So those bridges, those overpasses that you're on are regularly checked. They're the responsibility of the state of California, and I'm very confident in our infrastructure. So what we don't want people to do is get out of their vehicle and start running out of their vehicles. Then the next person's going to see that. Next thing you know, we have everybody running. Now that thing collapses, then you could have a problem.
Once again, the dream of a good life in Southern California has taken a major jolt.
According to news reports, we've been hearing that this seismic activity is going to increase in the future. So what is your office doing to get people in LA to be more serious, to take it more seriously?
Yeah, LA, we have the luxury, and the reason why so many people live here is the weather. We like to say it's usually about 75 or 80 degrees and boring, right? Meaning we don't have tornado issues normally, hurricanes, these kinds of things. So the last thing people want to do is think about preparedness. Our office is challenged by what we call windows of opportunity. So these recent earthquakes, our phones are ringing off the hook. Can you come out and do a presentation for my neighborhood association? I'd like to get more information about getting prepared, because I'm hearing that earthquakes are going to start happening more and more with more frequency. So for us, we look at this as a window of opportunity. I mentioned the Ryland program, Ready Your LA Neighborhood. We challenge people to look that up. As far as communications, one of the things that we want people to do is our Notify LA product. That's our mass notification system. That's going to be the quickest and most effective way. It's like that Amber Alert that you get sometimes, or National Weather Service. If we have some flash flooding coming our way, they can take over the phones. That's what we want to do. And we want people to go to notifyla.org and register for this. It's a free mass notification system. We don't charge you for that. You'll get those alerts only when it's something that's imminent, some kind of danger or an earthquake happening. We're going to let you know. We're going to let you know. We're going to give you critical information. We have a population of over 4 million. Daytime could be 7 million because of all the people that come to Los Angeles to work. But we only have about 200,000 people registered. So we really need people to step up, take action today, and register for notifyla.org.
And where can people go for more general information?
Ready LA is our brand, so readyla.org, very comprehensive website. It's got information of what to do, prior to, during, and after. How am I going to recover? So it's not only the preparedness and the response, but the recovery actions, and that's something that Ready LA has. It's a comprehensive website that has all that information.
Chris, if there were 10 to 12 basic actions and things that people would need to have or to do, what would they be?
Number one, water. Food, including pet food, don't forget. Important family documents, medical records. How about that first aid kit? Some basic tools. You're looking at batteries. Do you have cash? Cash is going to be essential. The radio, battery operated. Flashlights. Make sure you have flashlights or a way to light things up. And then clothing and sturdy shoes. So those are the things that you need to have in that kit.
With regards to earthquakes, is there anything else that you wanted to mention?
We need to be ready at any time. So wherever I'm at, whether it's at a concert or I'm at a basketball game or whatever, be aware of your exit routes. Be aware of where you would drop cover and hold on. Anytime you practice and you execute that practice, you're going to be much better off than if you just go with your instincts.
Well, thank you for sharing all of this great information. We really appreciate it and really need it at this point in time. Well, thank you for joining us for this edition of LA Currents. I'm Saida Pagan.